Today we're gonna make some quick and easy cheapo belt fobs, because it's easy. I believe Greg got this at the dollar store.
Yep, $1.39 for a dog leash.
Yep.
You just need a dog leash at the Dollar Tree.
I'm getting the length right. Shear it off. Now, because this is nylon webbing, sealing the edge with a little bit of flame from a torch. These are button snaps.
You can get them on Amazon, right?
You got this as a kit on Amazon for 10 bucks. And the way that you assemble these, you want one of each piece. That gets riveted into one side with a little hammer and a hand tool, and then that gets riveted onto the other side. So we want this piece on that. And in order to do that, we need a hole. So one side of your block has a pyramid, the other side is flat.
Did that come with the kit?
Yep. That's for your actual hole punch. So that'll slot onto that, which means that if you lay something in between, oh wow, I don't even need a hammer for this.
Because it's nylon, right? It's just a lot thinner than leather.
Yeah, or fabric for that matter. It's not as dense as fabric. So look at that. I don't even need to really hammer up a hole in it, because just kind of messing with the hole punch did it.
Now Chris has brass buttons because he was used for the engineering uniform, and that's what I'm using because I'm not too much of a stickler for screen accuracy. This is just something fast and easy to do. You get home because the belt fobs on Etsy, if you want a complete set, I think it's $85.
And they're leather.
And yeah, they're leather. They're very nice, but they're also, if you don't have the budget for that, this is a very cheap way to do this. Is nylon and whatever you have lying around.
And if you need something quick, this is a good option. Now I do need a hammer. With the hole for the post already in place, run the post through one side, put the snap cover on the other, take your little riveting tool, center it up, couple of stiff whacks, rivet it in place. Go back, do the other side here.
That's thicker.
It's much thicker, yes. And to be clear, it's thicker there because it's double layered.
Yeah.
I'm going through the double layered bit, so when it snaps closed, it snaps closed clean. But same thing on this side. Slip the post through. Take your riveting tool, center it up on that post. Give it a couple of stiff whacks with the hammer. And
There you go.
voila.
Surprisingly cheap belt fob.
There's a couple of others that we can make with just the nylon and the D-rings, yeah.
Greg's belt fob game has been off, so Chris is helping me with it today.
Well, it seems like you keep finding yourself needing more places to hang stuff on your belt.
Yes.
So I'm helping. The one that was on that first piece is actually stitched.
Okay.
So if we had a sewing machine, I could just run a couple of quick stitches there and bam. That said, for this, I'm gonna do that same fold, but I'm actually gonna use the post from the snap.
Oh, nice. So no glue involved.
Nope, no glue, no sewing.
And he's using the belt as a gauge to get it to the right length that you want
get
it.
the right amount of material. Go like that, and I know, it's always so dramatic when you hammer it. Same thing again, just kind of shimmying it through between the fibers. Flip this guy back over again. our riveting tool and there we go. Voila. Now, once again, this right here is my vintage GI Alice belt. The correct belt for a screen-accurate Ghostbusters cosplay is actually a World War II vintage GI pistol belt. However, in my experience, it's really hard to find ones that are decent enough quality that they hold up to all the gear weight that we carry.
Yeah, they sag. They tend to sag. I see
tend
in
to
cosplay
sag.
too.
And that can be a real problem when you're carrying a bunch of stuff. This is the Vietnam era as opposed to the World War II era pistol belt. I like these because they're much heavier in terms of the weave. So they tend to kind of hold up to the extra gear weight a lot better, and then the buckles are a lot sturdier. What's nice about this nylon webbing is if you do something like what I just did, where I kind of trimmed it a little too short, it's stretchy enough that it should be able to snap. It might be kind of tight, but it should work. Almost got myself. So obviously I'm using cheap snaps, which is why they are not snapping very well, but they are holding. With this end sealed already. Bear in mind, we are quite literally melting the nylon here, so be careful. Ah, damn it. Giving you a Gruberson fob.
Nice.
Yeah, did you catch he has a little carabiner keychain on one of his belt fobs in the new movie.
Nice.
So
It's leathered though, right? It's black leather.
the fob itself is black leather. It's actually, I believe it's this fob right here. And he just has the carabiner.
Home Depot. Like it was $3. I think the D-rings were like $2 a piece. Those are called D-rings, by the way, if people didn't know.
Once again, same thing that I did the last couple of times here. Just getting the post started through, getting the other end on so it's over the rivet. Flip your hammer block over, get your rivet tool onto the post of the rivet, and give it a couple of stiff whacks. Voila. See, that came out good. Perfect. Same exact process again. Oh my God, I didn't even have to hammer it. Look at that. You know what the great irony of this is, Greg? I've never worked with nylon webbing before.
Nice.
Never done this. I mean, I've done this, but on fabric,
On
not
fabric
on,
and leather, right?
not on nylon. Not on like this nylon webbing stuff. So like all these little things that I'm doing that are correct, like I just read about it. Final step here. Ha. And that is how you can quickly make your own belt fobs for about $5.99. Like 15 including the rivet, the snaps.